Hello and welcome to the optional practical training tutorial, Mailing Application to USCIS. After you have received your new I-20 with OPT recommendation and consulted with the Office of International Services, double-check that all documents on the application checklist are included and that your I-20s are signed. You will mail a copy of the new I-20 along with all other application materials to USCIS. You will keep the original I-20. USCIS must receive your application within 30 days of the issue date on the OPT I-20 and within 60 days of your program completion date. Applications received more than 30 days from the issue date will be denied and the filing fee will not be returned. When your application materials are complete, you must mail your packet to USCIS lockbox. You can mail it using a private courier service such as DHL, FedEx, or UPS. Or you may use the U.S. Postal Service. If you send with the U.S. Postal Service, it is recommended to use overnight or certified mail return receipt requested so that you have a tracking number. If the address you used on the I-765 is in Massachusetts, you will mail to the USCIS lockbox in Dallas. Note that there are two different addresses based on the method of shipment. For courier services such as FedEx, UPS, or DHL, use the address USCIS, attention AOS 2501 South State Highway, 121, Business Suite 400 in Louisville, Texas, 75067. For U.S. Postal Service deliveries, use the address USCIS P.O. Box 660867, Dallas, Texas, 75266. On the I-765, if the address you used in question number 3 is outside of Massachusetts, consult the Form I-765 instructions for information on where to file your application. After mailing your application to USCIS, carefully review all correspondence from them. In approximately 1 week, you will receive a text message or email from USCIS with your case receipt number. Within 4 weeks, you will receive a receipt notice in the mail to the address you provided on the Form I-765. The receipt contains your name and date of birth. If the information on the receipt is not correct, call the customer service number listed on the receipt right away to make a correction. If you receive a request for additional information, contact the Office of International Services immediately, as you must respond quickly to this time-sensitive request. In 2 to 3 months, you will receive an I-797 approval notice in the mail. Then, in a separate shipment, your EAD, Employment Authorization Document, will arrive in the mail. You may not begin working until you receive your EAD card. Once you have the EAD in your possession, you may only begin working within the dates specified on the EAD. For example, if you get your EAD on June 1st and the start date on the EAD is July 1st, you must wait until July 1st to begin working. Many students have questions about traveling while on OPT. If you exit the U.S. after your program completion date, but before submitting your post-OPT application to USCIS, then you will lose your eligibility to apply for post-completion OPT. Traveling outside of the U.S. after your program end date with a pending OPT request is not recommended. After you receive your OPT approval, you can travel with your I-20, passport, F1 visa, and EAD card. Your I-20 must have a valid travel signature on page 2, and remember that the travel signature on OPT is valid for 6 months. Be advised that re-entering the U.S. in a status other than F1, such as a tourist, will invalidate F1 status and OPD authorization. While on OPT, your CVIS record remains under the sponsorship of LaSalle College, and you are required to report updates to the LaSalle Office of International Services. After you receive your EAD card in the mail, email a photo or scan of the front and back of the card to iss@lasalle.edu. You are also required to report your OPT employment information within 90 days of your employment start date. Use the form on the OIS website to submit this information. You must also report any change of address or employment within 90 days of the change using the employment information form. You should also inform the Office of International Services if you change to another status other than F1, if you have decided to transfer to another school, or if you have decided to return to your home country with no plans to return to the U.S. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact the Office of International Services throughout your OPT period. Thank you for your attention and good luck.